Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday, September 12th, 2023 special meeting of the Otero County Commission. I'd like to call this meeting to order and have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Markford?
Here.
Commissioner Manderly?
Here.
Commissioner Burrell?
We think she's coming, but she might be late. I don't know. All right, I make a motion for the approval of the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we only have one item on the agenda, request approval to set property tax rates for 2023 property tax year. And James, would you like to give us a rundown?
Sorry. Good morning, Commissioners. Basically, as you guys kind of see with the rates that were sent to you by DFA, we are again increasing our value throughout the county. Some of the totals are going to be representative by new permits that were brought in through the county for the 2023 year, tax year, as well as new construction, changes of ownership, vacant land sales, and things like that. I did provide you guys with a list of like the value updates for 2023. As you can see, when you look at the number of sales that we had in Otero County, they basically totaled out to $142,300,090. Again, where we see an increase in new housing being built. We had a lot of people applying for solar and things like that over the past few years, which we're going to see that increase again over the next couple of years. I think it's just going to continue to go. We have a lot of mobile home sales that are happening right now, especially out in Chaparral. Chaparral is growing exponentially right now. They are really booming out there. And we have a lot of vacant land sales as well. You know, a lot of people want to try to get some property over here in New Mexico, and we get those sales kind of frequently throughout the year as well. We also had, again, like I mentioned, a good number of permits last year, totaling in about 1,700 plus, which calculated for about $145.5 million of permit value last year. So again, we're just kind of growing in the county as far as new things coming into the county. You know, new housing. We have some new commercial structures being built. Obviously, we've seen a growth of, it's not necessarily new construction, but we are seeing a growth in sales when it comes to, obviously, dispensaries in our county. You guys are seeing them popping up left and right, and again, it's going to be one of those things I think is going to keep happening. But anytime things like that happen, new sales happen for commercial, we are doing our due diligence to make sure that value is reflecting off of that as well, so they're not just being kind of ignored and being left where they are, where they become under market value for so many years. So we're trying to make sure we attack that as soon as they come across our desk. So, but yeah, the breakdown that I gave you for the rest of the paperwork is just gonna let you guys know by tax district what we saw as far as taxable value and actual value, the tax amount that's gonna be with each one. I mean, I won't bore you guys by going through that line by line, but you'll be able to see the breakdown for new construction. A lot of times people have a question about what convert to perm means. Convert to perm for our purposes in the office is going to be when a mobile home has an active title that's been deactivated, it is now being considered as real property, and so we call that convert to perm, which means permanent. So it's now fixated to the parcels permanently, and so we do have different values for those different tax valuation, I guess, for those when that does happen. So you'll see that breakdown as well in there. And again, it's just going to be broken down by district. In city, out of city, what's, you know, Tularosa, Tiburon area, all those. So, you know, I'm not sure if you guys have any questions about those, but that's a quick rundown, I guess.
Yeah, James, I got one question, just a clarification on the front page on the vacant.
Yes, sir.
What are you classifying as vacant? Is it non-ownership, just a vacant lot, or a home that's nobody living in, or?
So, yeah, so that's a good question. So vacant for us is going to be anything that has no improvements to it. So there is no residential structures being built on it or anything like that. It's just going to be exactly what is vacant land. Whenever we are also in the process of trying to determine what a vacant land value would be compared to what an improved value would be. So, you know, whenever someone goes out and they say, hey, we're planning on possibly building a house out here, well, as soon as they start digging the lines for plumbing and gas and all that, those values would actually technically increase because they are called improvements for what we do. But when you see vacant, those are going to be strictly nothing being done to the land at all. There's
Okay.
no real plans that we know of at the time.
So what, do you kind of have a percentage, or what type of increase are we looking at?
As far as overall increase, I want to say we're looking at around, overall, again, this is going to be year to year, it's looking like around 6%. And that doesn't mean, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, does a 3% cap for the residential? Yes, that does happen for residential. However, again, whenever we do have, whenever a house does sell, our job is to be fair and consistent, and we try to bring values close to market value. So you'll see an increase in that as far as percentage goes as well. Whenever new permits do happen, it's not just solar, things like that. People are building garages, things like that. So whenever a house is protected by a 3% cap, which we'll always honor per state statute, but whenever there's something new that's improved on there, that 3% will stay there as far as the residence goes. However, whatever new structure's been put on there, let's say the structure's going to be an additional 2%, you might see that one property grow by 5%, but it's only because of the additional improvement that they put that we're picking up for the following tax year. So, but overall, we're looking at around 6% growth for the entire county for this year. But now, last year, I believe it was 7%. So it dropped a little bit, but we didn't see as many sales as we saw the year before, as far as changes of ownership and things like that.
And the clarification on 1 in, 1 out, 4 in, 4 out, that's just, I know that's probably a formula that you use, but what exactly, just so I make sure I understand everything.
So again, that's going to be the two different tax rates we have are going to be residential and non-residential. And then we also have if it's within city limits and outside of city limits
I got you.
and things like that.
I
So
got you.
that's what the breakdown's going to show
Okay.
you. Yes, sir.
So 4 is Torosa
Yes.
and now 5 is.
Right.
And on 1 is on board, last on board.
Right.
What's 11?
11 is,
Cloudcraft, right? That one always gets me
Cloudcraft?
confused too, but it's Cloudcraft. Yeah, for a second I thought I was confused too. I was like, it's Cloudcraft, right? Like, yeah, no, it's Cloudcraft. Sorry.
It's 16?
16 is going to be Chaparral.
Okay. Okay.
I'm good?
You good? Okay. I don't have any more questions, I don't think. I think we're good.
Okay.
All right. So I make a motion for the approval to set property tax rates for 2023 property tax year.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It passes. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners.
Does anybody have anything else? No? Okay. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.